Good morning, everyone, and thank you for choosing Market Briefing, market analysis, and financial news. Every day, our goal is to provide you with a thorough and knowledgeable analysis of the most relevant financial news to help you navigate the complex economic landscape. Let's begin our daily review. Financial news, August 31, 2023. Asian stock markets have started the day positively, drawing inspiration from the strong performance of Wall Street. This surge comes in response to recent economic reports from the United States, which have fueled speculation that the Federal Reserve may be nearing the conclusion of its monetary tightening cycle. Japanese equities and Hong Kong stock futures are on the rise, while Australian shares have remained relatively stable. However, it's worth noting that Australian shares face some downward pressure due to legal action taken against Qantas Airways Limited. In the United States, the S&P 500 has recorded gains for the fourth consecutive day, contributing to a weekly increase of 2.5%. The tech-focused Nasdaq 100 has also performed well, surging by 3.5% this week. Despite these recent gains, it's crucial to highlight that they only partially offset the widespread losses experienced throughout August. The S&P 500 is still on track for its worst month since February, while the Nasdaq 100 is heading for its most significant decline this year. Both Asian and global stocks are also poised for their most substantial monthly losses since February. In response to weaker-than-expected economic data, Australian and New Zealand bonds have seen an uptick, following modest gains in U.S. Treasuries. The U.S. gross domestic product, GDP, expanded at a slower-than-anticipated pace of 2.1% during the second quarter, falling below the government's previous estimate. Additionally, an industrial measure of employment showed fewer job additions than economists had predicted, and consumer confidence levels were also weaker than expected. These disappointing figures have led to predictions that the Federal Reserve might reduce its interest rate hikes. Interestingly, market sentiment appears to be adopting a bad news is good news approach. Investors seem to be betting that a slower economic growth could prompt the Federal Reserve to take a less aggressive stance. While this approach has helped reassure investors, it introduces an element of risk should market dynamics change, underscoring the importance of a robust earnings recovery for the market's continued strength. Shifting focus to China, investors are eagerly awaiting the release of the official Purchasing Managers' Index, PMI, data scheduled for Thursday. Forecasts anticipate further signs of weakness in manufacturing and slower growth in services. Additionally, reports have surfaced indicating that the People's Bank of China is drafting preliminary policies to improve private businesses' access to funding, a move seen as official support for China's economy. However, not all news from China is positive. Property developer Country Garden Holdings Company has signaled a potential debt default after reporting a staggering first-half loss of nearly $7 billion, indicating ongoing challenges in the property sector. Turning to U.S. corporate news, Apple is making headlines with reports suggesting that the tech giant is experimenting with 3D printers to produce smartwatch components. In a different sector, U.S. prosecutors are now investigating Tesla Incorporated's plans to acquire hard-to-obtain construction materials. Meanwhile, Visa Incorporated and MasterCard Incorporated are experiencing gains in their shares due to plans to increase fees charged to retailers. In the commodities market, the price of oil is holding steady, marking its fifth consecutive daily advance. Gold, on the other hand, is edging higher after a series of gains earlier this week. Meanwhile, Bitcoin remains above the $27,000 mark, reflecting ongoing interest in cryptocurrencies. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, several key events are on the horizon, including China's manufacturing PMI and non-manufacturing PMI, Japan's industrial production and retail sales figures, Eurozone CPI and unemployment data, the European Central Bank's publication of its account of the July monetary policy meeting, and various U.S. economic data releases, including personal spending and income figures, initial jobless claims, and more. Before proceeding with our analysis, we would like to remind you that your support is very important to us. If you enjoy this video and find our content helpful and engaging, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. This helps us grow and provide you with even more quality content. Now, let's get back to the news on the financial markets and the latest updates. Certainly, let's dive into the section about cryptocurrencies without summarizing. In the cryptocurrency realm, Bitcoin is experiencing a surge in its average trade size on most exchanges. This spike comes on the heels of Grayscale's recent legal victory over the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. Data from Kaika reveals that the average trade size for Bitcoin on the Kraken exchange has surged to over $2,000, up from approximately $850 just a day earlier. This level of trade size hasn't been seen since the bullish run in June. Analysts suggest that this increase could indicate heightened activity among large traders, reflecting growing confidence in the cryptocurrency market. Meanwhile, Binance, one of the world's leading cryptocurrency exchanges, has announced its decision to gradually phase out support for its BUSD stablecoin. BUSD will be removed from spot and margin trading pairs, and users are encouraged to convert their BUSD holdings into other assets by February next year. This move follows Paxos's halt on the issuance of new BUSD tokens. Binance emphasizes that BUSD will continue to be backed one-to-one by USD. In the short term, Binance will delist BUSD as a loanable asset on September 6 and halt withdrawals of Binance Peg BUSD tokens on various blockchain networks. BUSD currently maintains a 24-hour trading volume of nearly $900 million. In other crypto developments, the number of Bitcoins held in addresses associated with centralized exchanges has hit a 5-year low, totaling 2 million BTC, equivalent to $54.5 billion. This decline in exchange reserves is partly attributed to the growing sophistication of the crypto market. Notably, services like Copper's Clear Loop have gained popularity, enabling users to trade cryptocurrencies without the need to transfer their funds to centralized exchanges. This trend underscores the evolving landscape of crypto trading and custody solutions. Finally, in our chart of the day, we observe the daily price action and trading volume for ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, BITO, on the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE. BITO recently recorded a significant gain of nearly 7.3%, marking its most substantial single-day increase since March 13. Trading volume surged to $800 million, the highest since its debut in October 2021. This uptick in BITO's performance can be attributed to the positive sentiment surrounding spot ETFs, driven by Grayscale's legal victory against the SEC. Spot ETFs are considered more favorable than futures-based ETFs due to their reduced vulnerability to rollover costs. Stocks. S&P 500 futures were little changed as of 9:13 a.m. Tokyo time. The S&P 500 rose 0.4%. Nasdaq 100 futures were little changed. The Nasdaq 100 rose 0.6%. Hang Seng futures rose 0.9%. Japan's Topix rose 0.2%. Australia's S&P/ASX 200 was little changed. Euro Stoxx 50 futures fell 0.2%. Currencies. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index was little changed. The euro was little changed at $1.0929. The Japanese yen rose 0.1% to 146.07 per dollar. The offshore yuan was little changed at 7.2988 per dollar. Cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin was little changed at $27,266.65. Ether was little changed at $1,703.15. Bonds. The yield on 10-year treasuries was little changed at 4.12%. Japan's 10-year yield advanced 1 basis point to 0.650%. Australia's 10-year yield declined 3 basis points to 4.04%. Commodities. West Texas Intermediate crude rose 0.2% to $81.76 a barrel. Spot gold rose 0.1% to $1,944.95 an ounce. In conclusion, we'd like to thank you for watching Market Briefing, market analysis, and financial news. If you enjoyed our insights and found the information helpful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to our channel to stay updated with future analyses. Thank you again for your support, and we'll see you soon with more interesting news. Remember, the information in this video is purely informational and does not constitute investment advice. Always consult with a professional before making financial decisions.